Alright, so good day everyone. So thank you so much no for being here today as we explore a vital aspect of modern communication, or what we call the PADMATs, or the publication materials. So in a way, or in a world where visuals dominate the way we consume information, creating effective and engaging PADMATs has become more than just a skill. It is an essential tool for spreading information, fostering education, building awareness, and promoting ideas, right? So today we will uncover the strategies and elements that make the publication materials, or the PubMats, not just visually appealing, but also purposeful and impactful, of course. So whether it is about branding, advocacy, or simply getting your message across, no, understanding the principles of effective design can elevate your work to a whole new level. Okay, so let's get started by understanding the purpose behind PubMats, or publication materials, and why they are crucial in today's fast-paced, visually driven environment. Alright, so let's begin with first ones. Of course, we have the dissemination of information. Okay, so disseminating information, no, is one of the primary purposes of PubMats, of course. Okay, so these materials are designed to convey specific details to a target audience in a clear and engaging manner. Alright, so whether it is a school announcement, a schedule for an event, or guidelines for a process, PubMats provide a structured way to communicate important information efficiently. Okay, so they help in ensuring that details are presented in a format that grabs attention and is easy to understand, especially in an age where people are inundated with content. Like for example, no, a well-designed PubMat for a community meeting might include the date, the time, as well as the location and purpose, arranged in a way that is visually appealing and easy to follow. Okay, so by using eye-catching visuals and concise text, no, PubMats makes it easier to reach a wider audience and ensures that the message is retained. Okay, so next one we have the education and learning, no. So of course in education and learning, no, PubMats are highly effective in supporting education and learning objectives. All right. So they can simplify complex ideas, concepts, or processes into formats that are easier to digest and understand. Okay, so like infographics, diagrams, charts, and bullet points are common elements used in educational PubMats, no, to make learning more interactive and visually appealing. Okay, so like for example, no, a PubMat explaining how a law works could use step-by-step illustrations, no, and concise text to guide the audience through the process. Okay, so additionally, PubMats can be used in classrooms, workshops, or seminars to complement verbal or written explanations, no, offering learners a visual reference they can return to. Okay, so in this way, PubMats not only enhance understanding but also improve retention, making them invaluable in both formal and informational, or rather informal education settings. Okay, so next one, third one, we have the public awareness, no, and advocacy. So yes, so another critical purpose of PubMats is to raise awareness and drive advocacy campaigns, of course. So these materials, no, are designed to bring attention to significant social, environmental, or cultural issues, no, and inspire people to take action. Okay, so whether the goal is to inform the public about climate change, no, promote mental health awareness, or yes, to advocate for human rights, PubMats acts as a medium to deliver powerful messages. Okay, so they often include compelling visuals, of course, impactful text, and emotional appeals, no, to connect with their audience on a deeper level. Like for example, no, a PubMat for a campaign against plastic waste might use striking imagery of polluted oceans paired with statistics and actionable steps. No, so by reaching out to the public in a visually engaging way, of course, PubMats will surely help generate discussions, influence perceptions, and yes, encourage people to participate in a meaningful causes. Okay, so fourth one, we have here the marketing and promotion, no. So marketing and promotion are central to the success of any event, product, or service, yes, no, and PubMats are a key tool in this process. Okay, so a well-crafted PubMat not only grabs attention no, but also persuades the audience to engage with what is being promoted. Okay, so whether it is for a product launch, a community event, or a business campaign, no, PubMats highlights, no, the most important aspects such as unique features, benefits, or incentives, right? So effective marketing PubMats incorporate branding elements like logos, color schemes, typography, and taglines, ensuring consistency and recognition. Okay, so for instance, no, a promotional PubMat for a local concert might include the performers, of course, the venue, as well as the ticket prices and a vibrant design to convey excitement. Okay, so the goal is to create a lasting impression that drives interest and action, whether it is an attendance at an event, a purchase, or even an engagement on school media. Okay, so moving forward, fifth one, we have the record keeping and archiving. Okay, so record keeping and archiving are essential yet often overlooked purposes of PubMats. Okay, so they serve as a visual and informational record of events, campaigns, and activities, preserving organizational history for future reference. Okay, so archive PubMats provide insights into past strategies, designs, and messages that work effectively, serving as a foundation for planning and improving future initiatives. Okay, so by documenting milestones and achievements, PubMats contribute to a comprehensive organizational narrative that can be used for reports, retrospectives, no, and of course historical analysis. Okay, so next we have the peer review and validation. No? So PubMats also plays a role in facilitating peer review and of course validation by providing a platform for feedback and critique. Okay, so when materials are shared within professionals or academic circles, no, they allow colleges to assess the clarity, accuracy, and as well as the impact of the content. Okay, so this process not only improves the quality of the design and message, but also ensures, no, that the final output meets the standards of its intended audience. Okay, so next we have the professional networking and communication, no? So PubMats are tools, no, for building connections and fostering communication within professional networks. All right? So they showcase an individual's or organization's identity, of course, as well as the achievements and initiatives, no, making them effective conversation starters at conferences, seminars, or social media platforms. Okay? So well-crafted PubMats reflect professionalism and creativity, of course, so leaving a lasting impression that strengthens networking efforts. So next one, I think this is the last one. We have the entertainment and leisure. No, so beyond functional purposes, PubMats contribute to entertainment and leisure, no, by engaging audiences with visually appealing and creative designs. Okay, so they are used to promote. Some concerts, festivals, or even games, no, or other recreational events, often combining vibrant visuals, no, and captivating messages to create excitement. Okay, so PubMats in this context serve to inform while also entertaining, making them enjoyable for viewers to interact with. Okay, so these are some of the, the purposes, no, of publication materials in a very, no, in a very meaningful aspect. Okay. Okay, so now let's proceed to the elements of effective PubMats or effective publication materials. Okay, so creating effective PubMats now goes beyond just combining text and visuals. However, it is also about crafting a design that communicates a clear message, resonates with your target audience, and leaves a lasting impression. Okay, so to achieve this, no, understanding the key elements of effective PubMats is essential. Okay, so in this discussion, no, we will explore these elements in detail, no, and uncover how they work together to make your PubMats truly impactful. Okay. Okay, so first one, no, we have the clear message. Okay, so yes, a clear message, no, is essential for effective PubMats, no, because it's ensure, no, the audience easily understands the purpose, the information, or call to action. No, so it should be simple, using concise and straightforward language, no, while avoiding jargon unless appropriate for the target audience. Okay, so the message, no, must be relevant, addressing the specific needs or interests of the intended viewers and aligning with the objectives of the material. Okay, so consistency is also the key. Okay, so with a unified tone, style and branding elements like logos, colors, and taglines to reinforce identity. Okay, so a well-crafted message effectively engages the audience and achieves its intended impact. Okay, so second elements, we have the relevance to target, of course. Okay, so relevance to the target audience, is also a crucial aspect of effective PubMats, ensuring that the message resonates with the intended viewers. Okay, so the content should address their specific needs, interests, and preferences, making it relatable and meaningful. Okay, so by understanding the audience's demographics, values, and behaviors, the PubMat can deliver information in a way that captures attention and encourages engagement. Okay, so relevance also involves tailoring the tone, language, and as well as the visuals, to align with the audience expectations, creating a stronger connection and increasing the likelihood of achieving the desired impact. Okay, so next one, of course, we have the eye-catching visuals. So yes, so these are vital component of effective PubMats as they immediately grab the audience attention and encourage engagement. Right? So these include vibrant colors, bold typography, striking images, and well-structured layouts that are both aesthetically pleasing and aligned with the message. Okay, so visuals should not only captivate but also communicate the essence of the content at a glance, yes, making it easier for the audience to understand the key points. Okay, so consistency, as I mentioned earlier, is the key, or consistency in branding elements like logos, fonts, and color schemes enhances recognition, while creative design ensures the material stands out in a cluttered media landscape. Okay, so next one, we have the layout and composition. So we have the proximity, we have the alignment, as well as the contrast and the white space. Okay, so let's discuss first what is ano ba tong proximity na to. Okay, so yes, proximity is the principle of placing related elements close to each other to visually group them and create a sense of organization. Okay, so as you can see here, so when items that belong together are positioned near each other, it becomes easier for the audience to understand the relationship, right? So for example, in in a flyer, grouping the headline, the subheading, and supporting image together helps the viewer quickly associate them as part of the same message, right? So proper use of proximity reduces visual clutter and ensures that the information is logically structured, improving the viewer's overall experience and comprehension. However, on the other hand, poor proximity can confuse the audience and make the layout feel disorganized. Okay, so next picture we have here the alignment. Okay, so in alignment naman, it ensures that every element in a design has a visual connection to another, creating a structured and cohesive look. Okay, so it guides the viewer's eye through the content in a deliberate manner, making the layout easier to navigate and more professional in appearance. Okay, so for example, text, images, and other elements can be aligned to the left, right, or center or arranged along a grid. Okay, so a well-aligned design avoids random placements, which can make the layout appear chaotic. Okay, so when alignment is applied consistently, of course, it enhances readability, it strengthens the visual flow, and gives the design a polished and harmonious look. Okay, so that is the alignment. Now, next one we have the contrast. Okay, so ano naman ba itong contrast? So, contrast, is the use of visual differences to make certain elements stand out and add visual interest to the layout. So, okay, so as you can see here, so it can be achieved through variations in color, size, shape, texture, or font. Okay, so for instance, pairing a bold, dark headline with lighter body text ensures that the heading grabs attention first, diba? Okay, so contrast also plays a critical role in creating hierarchy by emphasizing the most important elements such as calls to actions or key messages. Okay, so beyond aesthetics, contrast enhances readability, especially when ensuring a sufficient distinction between text and background. Okay, so however, poor contrast naman can lead to a dull or confusing design where important information gets lost. Okay, so next one we have naman the white space. Okay, so white space, also known as negative space, okay, is the empty area between and around design elements. Okay, so between and around elements, no, so it doesn't have to be white, no, it simply refers to unused space, no, it is not the literally white, but it is also refers to the unused space. Okay, so this principles is essential for creating balance, improving readability, and enhancing the overall aesthetic of a design. Okay, so white space allows key elements to stand out by giving them breathing room, preventing the layout from feeling overcrowded. Okay, so for example, leaving ample space around a headline or image draws attention to it and makes it more impactful. Diba? So proper use of white space helps create a clean and elegant design, while a lack of it can make the layout feel overwhelming and difficult to navigate. So it is also essential for us, no, na maglaan ng mga small space, no, of white space or unused space for us to navigate, no, for us to navigate a very elegant and clean design of our layouts. Okay? Okay, so next one, no, we have the branding and visual identity. So, as stated here, no, branding, no, it defines basically what people think about your school publication or your school in general. Okay, so branding, no, branding is essentially the perception or impression people have about your school publication or the school itself. Okay, so it reflects the values, the mission, and personality of your publication and influences how it is remembered or regarded by the audience. Okay, so for example, a publication that consistently produces professional, creative, and insightful content will be seen as credible and engaging, of course. Diba? So, strong branding builds trust and loyalty, making it easier for your audience to connect emotionally with your school or publication. Okay, so it encompasses not just the visual aspects, but also the tone, messaging, and overall reputation that sets your brand apart from others. So, next we have this one, which is what we call the visual identity. So, visual identity naman, as stated here, is what the brand looks like from your color choice, logos, and among others. Now, no, to elaborate this one, visual identity naman refers to the visual elements that represent your brand and make it recognizable. Okay? So this includes your choice of colors, your choice of typography, logo design, imagery, and other design elements that convey the personality of your school or your publication. Okay, so for example, no, using bold and dynamic colors might reflect a youthful and energetic brand, while muted tones and clean fonts may convey professionalism and elegance. Okay, so it depends, no? So a cohesive visual identity ensures that all materials, whether posters, social media posts, or newsletters, to align with your brand's image, reinforcing recognition and consistency. Okay, so it is tangible expression of your brand's essence and plays a crucial role in shaping how people perceive it visually. Okay, so that is what we call the branding in visual identity. So yes, no, as I mentioned earlier, so we have the logo, no? Logo is the most recognizable symbol of your brand. Yes, diba? So next we have the color. So color naman plays a significant role in shaping emotions, no, and perception of your brand, diba? So typography naman, typography are those fonts or typefaces used in your brand's materials. The next one, no, we have the choice of our images, because of course images are a powerful tool rather for storytelling and conveying emotion in your visual identity. Okay, so these are mga branding and visual identity that we can use in our publication materials. Okay, next we have the proofreading. Okay, so proofreading naman is a vital element of effective PubMats, no, ensuring that the content is free from spelling, no, grammar, and punctuation errors. Okay, so mistakes in the text can undermine the credibility of the publication, yes, no, and distract the audience from the intended message, of course. So careful proofreading helps ensure clarity, accuracy, and of course professionalism, making the content more engaging and easier to understand. Okay, so by double checking for consistency in tone, language, and formatting, no, proofreading ensures that the final product reflects the high standards, no, of the school or publication itself. Okay, So it also helps prevent miscommunication, no, and of course guarantees that all information is presented well, no, in a polished and error-free manner. So yes, no, proofreading is one also of the essential elements of publication materials that we have to consider. Okay. Alright, no. Okay, so from logos, no, and color schemes to typography and taglines, every element should work harmoniously to ensure your PubMats align with your brand's values and identity. Okay, so maintaining brand consistency not only builds credibility but also helps your audience easily identify, no, and grasp, no, and as well as connect with your message, no. Okay, so in this discussion we are going to delve into the principles and practices that ensure your PubMats effectively represent and strengthen your brand. Okay, so let's proceed with the brand consistency in PubMats. Okay, so first one, now we have the logos or the logo. Okay, so as stated here, logo is what identifies your brand using a particular mark, type, design, or both. Okay, so to elaborate this one, so no, as you can see here, we have three logos. We have the SK logo or the Sangguniang Kabataan. So we have also the SSG or the Supreme Student Government logo, and we also have the Pines or FM logo. Okay, so yes, no, a logo is a powerful symbol that serves as the visual cornerstone of your brand identity. Okay, so it can be a unique mark, no, a specific type design, or a combination of both crafted to represent your brand or to represent your brand's values, rather, mission and personality. Okay, so logos, no, are designed to be instantly recognizable and memorable, creating a lasting impression in the minds of your audience, of course. Okay, so whether it is a simple icon or a more intricate design, the logo acts as a signature for your brand, helping to distinguish it from others and establish its presence in the marketplace. Okay, so a well-designed logo not only reflects your brand's core message but also builds trust and recognition across various platforms and media. Okay, so logo is very essential for our publication materials, for its identify our what our identity. Okay. Okay, so next we have the colors. Okay, so colors, as stated here, help define your brand that could create lasting impression. Yes, of course, diba? So colors, no, should be consistently applied. So we have to take note of this one, no. Colors should be consistently applied to all PubMats to maintain a unified visual identity. Okay. So whether using the school's official colors, no, or a pre-established color palette, consistency in color choice ensures that the publication's materials are visually linked, no, and recognizable. Okay? So color impacts emotions and perceptions, so sticking to the brand's palette helps convey the intended tone, whether professional, energetic, or welcoming across all platforms. Okay, so we have to take note of that. Okay, so next one we have the typography. Now, typography is one of the simplest aspects of identity but can be surprisingly expressive. Okay, so it reinforces brand identity by establishing a uniform look and feel. Okay, so the fonts used in PubMats should align. Okay, so we have also take note of this one, no. So the fonts used in PubMats, no, should align with the brand's established style guide. Okay, so with a specific font selected for headings, body text, and calls to action. Okay. So keeping typography uniform ensures readability and visual harmony, making the PubMat more effective in communicating its message while maintaining a polished and professional appearance. Okay? So next we have the images naman. Okay, so in images, these are high parts of building a unique identity. Okay, a unique identity, of course. Okay, so the images used in PubMat should reflect the style and tone of the brand, and they should be consistent in terms of quality, as well as the color scheme and subject matter. Okay, so for example, okay, so using high quality relevant images that align with your school's values, for example, academic events, student life, no, it ensures that the visuals resonate with your audience and reinforce the brand's message. Okay, so consistency in image style such as lighting, editing, and framing helps create a unified professional look across all materials. Okay? So next, we have the taglines. Taglines naman, as stated here, are short, memorable phrase that sums up your brand promise. Okay? So taglines naman should be used consistently, okay, across PubMed to strengthen the brand's messaging and identity. Okay, so the tagline should encapsulate the core values or mission of the publication or school, offering a quick, and memorable phrase. Okay, memorable phrase that is easy for the audience to recall. Okay, so using the same tagline in all promotional materials ensures that the message remains focused and recognizable, creating a lasting impression in the minds of your audience. Okay, so consistency in tone and language within the tagline is key to reinforcing the overall brand identity. Okay, so yes, our consistency in logo, in colors, typography, and as well as images and taglines plays essential role, as essential and critical role when it comes to our publication material. So we have to take note of these aspects. Now, let's proceed, let's move forward to the next one. So we have the choosing the right colors and fonts in our publication materials. So first one, we have the understand your target audience, of course, diba? So your audience determines the tone and style of your design. So you should ask yourself, who is the design for, no? So determine the demographic characteristics of your audience, such as their age, profession, interest, and cultural background, diba? So for example, a publication aimed at high school students might use vibrant, of course, playful fonts and colors, while one targeted at academics or professionals may require more muted formal options. Okay, so next one, we have what are their preferences, needs, and expectations, diba? So consider what appeals to your audience in terms of aesthetics and functionality. So younger audiences might appreciate trendy, of course, bold fonts and colors, while older or more professional groups may prefer classic, minimal, clean fonts with neutral tones. Okay, so also understand the content of your audience expects, educational, informational, or entertaining, and choose design elements that complement this tone. Okay, so next one, what is the purpose and tone of the content? Of course, so the purpose of your PubMat, whether it is to inform, to advertise, to persuade, or to entertain, will influence the font and color choices. Okay, so a serious, informative message may require a more formal, straightforward font, like for example, serif fonts. Okay, so and subdued colors such as blue or gray. Okay, so to convey authority. Okay, so on the other hand, an event poster for a festival or student gathering may benefit from playful, of course, modern fonts and bright, energetic colors like red, orange, or yellow, of course, to capture attention and evoke excitement. Okay, so by considering these factors, you can select fonts and colors that not only reflect the intended message, but also create a visual identity that appeals to and engage your audiences. Okay, so understanding your target audience is also refers to our success of our PubMat design largely depends on how well it aligns with the preferences and expectation of our target audience. Okay, so understanding your audience helps you select fonts and colors and resonate with them and ensure the content tone is appropriate. Okay, so that is number one, understand your target audience. Okay, so next one, okay, let's move forward. We have the balance, contrast, and harmony. Okay, so effective design requires balancing contrast and harmony to create a visually engaging and, of course, cohesive PubMat. Okay, so both contrast and harmony plays an important roles in guiding the viewer's attention in ensuring that our design feels organized and polished. Okay, so in contrast, contrast meaning highlights differences like light versus dark, bold versus thin, to draw attention to key elements. Okay, so contrast emphasizes differences between elements such as light versus dark or bold versus thin to draw attention to key elements of the design. Okay, so for example, using a bold, dark font for headings against a lighter background ensures that the headline stands out. Okay, diba? So contrast can be used to create a visual hierarchy, making important information more prominent and guiding the viewer's eye through the content in a logical order. Okay, so however, it's important to not overdo contrast. Okay, so you have to be careful of that. Okay, so excessive or harsh contrast, can overwhelm the viewer and reduce the readability. So next we have the harmony. So harmony ensures consistency by using colors of fonts that complement each other, creating a unified look. So in harmony naman, it ensures that all elements in the design work together cohesively, creating a unified and pleasant look. Okay, so this is achieved by using colors, fonts, and shapes that complement each other. Okay, so like for example, selecting a color palette with complementary shades or using similar font styles throughout ensures that our design feels balanced, diba? Balanced and cohesive. So harmony provides consistency, making the decision visually appealing and easy to navigate. Okay, so it also helps reinforce the overall brand identity, ensuring that the visual elements feel like a natural part of the same message or publication. So we have to be careful also. We have to take note about how to use effectively the contrast and harmony when it comes to our publication materials. Okay, so next one we have the master typography. So we have the master typography. Okay, so typography is a key component of effective PubMat design as it impacts both readability and the overall aesthetic by first one following these basic steps. You can master typography, enhance your design by first one. Now we have the font selection. Okay, so use 2 to 3 fonts that complement each other with clear contrast. Okay, so sabi dito 2 to 3 fonts that complement each other, ensuring clear contrast between them. Like for example, pair a serif font for a traditional or formal feel with a sans serif font for a modern, clean look. Okay? So the contrast between different fonts helps to establish visual hierarchy and makes your content more engaging. Okay, so avoid using too many fonts as this can create visual clutter and reduce the cohesion of your design. Okay, so next one we have the font sizing. I think font sizing is one of the essential, So font sizing, use larger fonts for headings and titles to capture attention and highlight key messages. Okay, so we have to reserve larger fonts. Okay, so smaller font sizes should be reserved for body text, captions, or additional details to ensure readability. Okay, so a clear size difference between headings and body text helps guide the reader through the content, making it easier to understand and navigate, and of course, the information or the details is organized. Okay, so next one, we have the spacing. Now, in spacing naman, ensure balanced spacing between letters, words, and lines for readability. Okay, so spacing, is a crucial for readability. Okay, so ensure balanced spacing between letters, words, and lines, So adequate spacing prevents the text from feeling cramped, which can lead to difficult reading. Like, for instance, for example, increasing the line spacing for longer paragraphs makes it easier for readers to follow the text. Okay, so similarly, avoid overcrowding the layout with too much text. Okay, yun yung pinaka-the best na i-avoid natin. Okay, so avoid overcrowding the layout with too much text as this can overwhelm the viewer. Kumbaga parang it makes the audience boring to read. Okay, diba? So next one, we have the alignment. Okay, sa alignment naman, stick to consistent text alignment to create a polished professional appearance. Okay, so in alignment naman, consistent alignment creates a polished professional appearance and improves the overall flow of the content. So for most PubMats, left-aligned text is the easiest to read, but aligning headings and subheadings with a central or uniform style can add visual appeal and structure to the design. Okay? So by mastering these typography principles, font selection, sizing, spacing, and alignment, you or we can significantly improve both the readability and aesthetic of our PubMats, ensuring that our message is communicated clearly, professionally, and accurately rather. Okay? Alright, so next one we have the apply color theory. Okay, so color theory helps you create visually engaging and meaningful designs, So color theory is also essential in creating visually engaging and meaningful PubMats, okay? So by understanding how colors interact and influence perception, you can also enhance your design's visual impact and ensure it aligns with the message you want to convey. Okay, so first one we have the color relationships. Okay, so we may use a color wheel to choose complementary, analogous, or triadic color schemes for contrast and harmony. Okay, now in color relationships, the color wheel is a powerful tool for creating harmonious color schemes. Okay, so by using complementary, no, analogous, or triadic color schemes, no, it helps establish contrast and harmony in your design. So, ano ba tong mga complementary colors? So, complementary colors, I know you are very familiar, no? So, these are mga colors that are opposite to each other on the color wheel. So, like for example, blue and orange, no? So, using complementary colors creates high contrast and makes elements stand out, ideal for drawing attention to important content. Now, ano naman yung mga analogous colors? Okay, so analogous colors naman, these are colors next to each other on the wheel. Like for example, blue, and then blue-green, and then green. Okay, so these colors, no, create a harmonious and cohesive look, no, making them ideal for background or supporting elements. And of course, the triadic colors, no. So these are three colors that are evenly spaced on the color wheel. Okay, so next one we have the tone and purpose, no? So select warm, cool, or neutral colors that reflects the desired mood and message. Okay, so the colors you select should reflect the desired mood and message of the PubMat. Okay, so consider the tone of your content and the feelings you want to evoke. Like for example, in selecting warm colors, no? So these are mga red, oranges, yellows, no, often convey energy, warmth, no, and excitement. So they are great for promoting events or creating an upbeat, dynamic vibe. Now, next one, we have the cool colors. So we have like blue, greens, purples, no, tends to evoke calmness, trust, and professionalism. Okay, so these are suitable for informative, corporate, and or calming designs. The next one, we have the neutral colors. I know you are very familiar naman sa neutral colors, no? So, they are often used for text or backgrounds to ensure that the other colors stand out while maintaining a clean or modern feel. Now, next one, no, we have the tone and purpose, color hierarchy. Okay, so color hierarchy, we have prioritized primary, secondary, and tertiary colors to guide the viewer's attention effectively. So, ano naman tong mga primary colors? So, primary colors, so these are so these should be used for the most important elements like headings or calls to action as they grab attentions first. So that is the primary colors. Next one, we have the secondary colors. No? So this can be used for supporting content, subheadings, or secondary actions. Okay, so these should complement primary colors without overpowering them. Okay, so take note of that, without overpowering them. Next one, we have the color hierarchy. So prioritize. So yes, one. Next one, we have the tertiary colors pala rather. So in tertiary colors, so we have subtle accents or background colors that provide balance without distracting from the main elements. Okay, so no, yes, no, in apply color theory, no, by carefully applying color theory through thoughtful color relationships, tone selection, and hierarchy, no, you can create a PubMat that is not only visually engaging but also effectively communicates the intended message and mood. Okay, so we have to also take note about applying color theory. Okay, so now let's proceed to the visual hierarchy to guide attention. Alright, so what is visual hierarchy? So as stated here, no, visual hierarchy is the method of arranging elements in a design to direct attention and communicate importance. So it prioritizes content so users can process information efficiently, guiding them through a seamless experience. So yes, no, it is a strategic arrangement of elements within a design to direct the viewer's attention and communicate the relative importance of those elements. Okay, so by establishing a clear order of visual importance, no, visual hierarchy helps users process information efficiently, guiding them through the design in a logical and seamless way. So, in effective visual hierarchy, no, the most important elements, okay, so we have such as headlines, calls to action, or key messages are given prominence through design choices like size, color, contrast, and placement. So, for example, no, like for example, larger or bolder text naturally draws the eyes first, no, while secondary information is presented in smaller or more subtle ways. Okay? So, visual hierarchy ensures that the viewer's attention follows a natural path from the most critical content to supporting details, no, making it easier to understand the message and navigate the design. So, this method not only enhances readability but of course also creates a more engaging and as well as user-friendly experience. So, that is what we call a visual hierarchy. Okay, so we have key components of visual hierarchy. So first one, we have the size. Of course, size, no? Size, no, is the elements in a design that plays a significant role in directing attention. Okay, so larger elements naturally attract more attention and are seen as more important. Like for example, no, headlines, no, as stated here, big headlines versus smaller body text. Okay, so for example, no, headlines or titles are often larger than body text to indicate their prominence. So this size difference helps establish a visual order, guiding the viewer's eye from the most important message to the supporting information. So by manipulating size, no, you can control the flow in information and make key elements stand out. Okay, so a big bold headline stands out against a smaller body text, signaling to the viewer that it contains the main idea, while the smaller text provides supporting details. Okay, so size, no, in our publication materials plays a significant role, no, in guiding attention for our audience. So next one, we have the color and the contrast, no. So bright or high contrast colors stand out. For example, call to action buttons in bold colors against a neutral backgrounds. Okay, so to call to action buttons in bold colors like red or orange, no, placed against a neutral background such as gray or white, draw attention and encourage the viewer to click or engage. So similarly, using contrasting colors for important messages helps them stand out clearly. Okay, so by using size, no, or color and contrast thoughtfully, you can guide the viewer's attention and ensure that the most important content is noticed and processed first, no, enhancing both the clarity and effectiveness of your visuals. Okay, so these are the size and color and contrast. So we have next components, no, of visual hierarchy. So we have the white space and the typography. So I think you are familiar na of these two terms, no, because we have kept on mentioning these two a while ago. So let's talk about first. We have the white space, no. It creates breathing room to emphasize the content. For example, minimalist layouts that draw attention to focal point. So yes, no, minimalist layouts with plenty of white space draw attention to focal points, no, such as key image or call to action button by isolating them from the surrounding elements. Okay, so that is one of the key components of visual hierarchy. So what we have what we call the white space. Okay, so next one we have the typography. I know you are familiar na rin when it talks about typography. So no, so typography, it includes font size, weight, and as well as the style create emphasis and tone. So for example, bold headings paired with lighter subheadings for a structured look. Okay, so bold large heading pairs with lighter smaller subheadings create a clear structure, no, and guide the viewer through the content, making it easy to distinguish the main ideas from the supporting details. Okay, so together, no, white space and typography help establish a clear visual hierarchy, making the design easier to navigate and ensuring the most important elements are immediately noticed. Okay, so those are the key components of visual hierarchy that we have to consider, no. So we have first one, we have the size, no, we have the color and contrast, so we have to balance the color and contrast, and as well as the white space and the typography. So by using them appropriately, no, and effectively in our publication materials, surely we will have an effective publication materials towards our audience with regards to our intention towards that. Okay, alright, so now we are going to dive into the next part of this topic. I think this one is the last part na. So we have best tools for designing PubMats. And in this lesson, we are going to tackle about some apps that we can use for us to be able to, edit our publication materials perfectly, not just perfectly, but effectively and appropriately for our audience or for our audience target. Okay? Okay, so next tools for designing publication materials, we have the Adobe Illustrator. So a while ago, we have Adobe Photoshop. Now we also have Adobe Illustrator. So its features, vector-based design for scalable graphics. Next one, precision drawing tools for detailed artwork. And next one, extensive typography options. So yes, no, Adobe Illustrator is another essential tool for designing PubMats, particularly when you need to create scalable vector graphics, no? So unlike raster-based software like Photoshop, Illustrator is built for working with vector graphics, which can be resized infinitely without losing its quality. This makes it ideal, no, for creating logos, icons, and other graphics that need to remain sharp across various formats and sizes. So that is what we call Adobe Illustrator. Okay? So it has Illustrator's vector system, allows for crisp, no, clean designs that maintain their integrity when resized, making it perfect for creating logos, infographics, and other design elements that require scalability. Okay, so that is what we call the Adobe Illustrator. So next tools for designing publication materials, we have the Canva, and I think all of the digital native nowadays, especially in our 21st century, knows very well what is Canva, right? So Canva, its features is user-friendly drag and drop interface, thousands of templates for posters and other designs, and extensive library of stacks, photos, illustrations, and fonts. So yes, Canva is a popular design tool known for its ease of use and accessibility, making it an excellent choice for both beginners and experienced designers. So it is very beginner friendly as well as professional friendly. Okay, so its intuitive drag and drop interface simplifies the design process, allowing you to create professional looking PubMats quickly without a steep learning curve. Okay, so I think you are very familiar now when we talks about Canva, and I think you are also familiar with the features within this app for us to be able to create our publication materials very effective, meaningfully, and of course, effective towards our target audience. Okay. Alright, so that's all, no? So in summary, creating effective PubMats requires understanding their purpose, ensuring brand consistency, and using the right colors, fonts, and tools. Okay, so by applying visual hierarchy and key design elements, you can produce engaging and impactful materials that effectively convey your message. Okay, so that's all from my part. That's all for this lesson. I hope you gained something from this. That's all, and thank you so much.